Okay, it's time for the obligatory Tears of the Kingdom video. I'll apologise up front, the camera's a little bit shaky because my tripod broke. So we're doing it handheld today. First up, just want to focus on Link, the Amiibo. I'm not going to open it up. I have no desire to actually use the Amiibo in the game. I've got some other Zelda Amiibos that I may play around with at some point, but I just wanted to quickly show the detail, at least through the packaging, that comes with this Amiibo. It's absolutely fantastic, and on the arm itself, it stands out so well. The Amiibos, in my opinion, have come a long way since the earlier ones. This one I snapped up straight away, and to me it's a quintessential Zelda one that will stay in the collection for a while, and I'll probably never unbox it. The other thing that I grabbed was the Pro Controller. Pro Controller, I'll try and unbox it one-handed here. The Pro Controller looks absolutely fantastic, and I only have one other Pro Controller, and that is the Super Smash Brothers, and it's pretty plain. It's basically just a black unit with a grey stripe over it. It's nothing fancy, whereas this one with the gold trim really stands out. A bit too hard to open with one hand, so we'll cut to it out of the box in a sec. Alrighty, so here it is out of the box, and it does come with a charge cable, which is nice. So many products don't come with a charge cable these days. Really going to be difficult to pick up. I'll try and get some sort of an idea, but the reflective surface on the gold and white/gold finishes really stands out. Doesn't pick up quite as well on the camera, but you can see if I change the angle, those circles around the X and A change from white to gold. That's because they've actually got gold backing with the white over the top. So depending on where you're looking at it, and preferably naked eye, the white really stands out, and then the gold flashes through and it'll change. The single white handle, a lot of people are concerned about that getting dirty. Yeah, look, it's a possibility, but it's pretty good surface on it. I reckon it'll clean up all right if you do get it dirty. But yeah, I have a tendency not to eat Cheetos and play games at the same time, and generally my hands are washed before I sit down and play with my console. Pro Controller is only going to get used generally when I'm connected to the dock and playing on the TV screen. Most of my play, like 99%, I use handheld mode, and one of the benefits of that is that a lot of people complain about frame rates, etc., when playing games on the Switch, and are adamant that we need a more high-powered Switch. And yes, I do agree, a more higher powered Switch would be beneficial to keep up with the PlayStations and Xboxes and some of the A-grade titles that are available on those that don't play so well on the Switch. But in my opinion, you've got to remember that the Switch is predominantly a handheld device. That's what it's built for. The functionality to be able to dock it and play on a TV screen is kind of an add-on feature. It's not the primary purpose of it. So when it comes to the Switch itself played in handheld mode, I find that it generally keeps up really well, and I don't have any problem playing. You'll note here that I do have Zelda JoyCons, and this is an OLED. No, there wasn't a Sword and Shield release of an OLED. They did release Joy-Cons for Sword and Shield, and that's what these are. And I've taken the OLED off Splatoon. So there was a Splatoon release, and one of the good things about the Splatoon release is that the back is all in black embossed, and it really doesn't stand out a huge amount. So it lends itself to being able to be swapped on the Joy-Cons and not look out of place. So this one here looks, as far as I'm concerned, fantastic, and you don't see a lot of people playing with them. I've been playing all of my Zelda games on this, and I've been playing this for a while. I'll just put this aside for a moment, turn it off. So that's what I've been playing with. I've clocked up over 100 hours on Tears of the Kingdom. I've completely explored the map as far as getting the majority of shrines and the sky towers. I've done a good portion of the sky, and I've only started on the underworld. So there's still a lot there for me to play. A couple of things that I want to go through here. Before we get into the game itself, I'll finish off with the next accessory and the final accessory that I bought, which is the carry case. Now, a lot of people sort of went not interested in the carry case, but I have found that with my Diablo 3 one, which came with the carry case, I actually use it, and it, in my opinion, is a great little carry case. So it fits the Switch really nicely and makes it really nice to travel with. So where I do travel with it, it's what I will travel with and what I will utilise to protect my device. Now, just to go through this travel case, it's got the design that carries over with the hand and the ancient Hyrulean text around the outside of the hand. You can see that it's got the same graphic textured over the case, including the circles on the other side. They're reasonably subtle, and gold stands out more than anything. Then on the back, you've got the circles in gold really standing out, and then really subtle, you've got the Triforce there in the middle with the various extensions coming out of it. It's a really nice case. Inside, it's just the standard case for holding a Switch and a number of carts. So that's the case. Then we get into the Switch itself. Now, I haven't transferred over to this one. I haven't decided yet whether I will or not, but I will go into the box and just pull out one item. Or one pair of items, and that's the Joy-Con. I won't go through the whole lot because others have already done so. And there are plenty of videos out there, and being rather late to producing a video, there's not much point in me going through it all in detail. But I will highlight, there's been a question about these symbols on the back, is the key ones. These ones are part of the symbols that relate to the powers. Now, when we get to the actual collector's edition of Zelda, there's a number of pins in there as well. Just trying to get you a better image of those. Effectively, those symbols are part of the game in regards to the key elements that you get. Just like in Breath of the Wild, we borrowed from the various cultures once you sorted out the divine beasts. With these ones, you've got a similar sort of scenario. And in fact, with Tears of the Kingdom being an extension of Breath of the Wild, a lot of the game is very similar to Breath of the Wild. It takes a lot of the same mechanics and it twists them or adjusts them to a new game. And those new mechanics give you a new way of playing on the same map that is years beyond when Breath of the Wild occurred. Now, I'm just going to open up the box with the Zelda Collector's Edition. It's a little bit hard to open at one hand, so once again, I'll put this down and we'll cut to the innards. When we get the innards out, there are a couple of things to take note of. We've got the steelbook, which is absolutely gorgeous in gold tones with black as the highlight, and the inside of the case. Now, with the reflection of the plastic in front, really hard to get that on camera, but gives you an idea. But that's a really nice steelbook that comes with it. The game itself, you've all seen that, but this in particular is the item that I wanted to pull out. With the Collector's Edition, you get a number of pins. Now, these pins are reflective of the different powers as well. So you've got 4 designs here, plus on the back of the JoyCons, you've got those extra 2. And you've got 6 powers as far as I've come across so far. And like I say, I haven't completed the game, so I'm not sure if I've missed anything. But you combine those 6 and you've got fire, water, wind, lightning, time and light across all of those. So that is one little design feature that I thought was of interest and worth pointing out. And I've not seen anyone else mention that in regards to the pins, because all the videos I've seen are these boxes being opened early where no one actually knew what they were and everyone was just saying, hey, we'll find out when we play the game. Haven't seen anyone come back and explain it, but from what I've played in the 100 hours, that's what these pins are. They are the different elements. So combine those together and it's a really nice tie-in across the accessories and the collector's edition of the game. As far as the worth of the collector's edition, which is something that I've sort of come across a number of people talk about, I believe the value's there. I mean, the cost of the game in total and the number of hours I've played and the number of hours I expect I will still play from here on in, this collector's edition has effectively cost me less than $1 an hour, and I'm sure I'll play through this game a couple of times and try and work on completing it more than what I currently have. There's a whole lot of outfits that I haven't found yet. There's a whole lot of marks on the underworld from old maps that I've found on the overworld that I haven't yet got to. I've only got one of the marks out of about half a dozen or so at the moment, and that one mark has given me some Pants of the Wind, I think it was, which apparently are for sailors. They're a high armour class, but nothing in regards to any special functionality that I've found. But that says to me that there are other things worth finding there as well, which will help transition around the game. There's whole areas that I haven't actually done as far as story yet. I'm aware of them. I've interacted in regards to them, but I haven't completed them, which will give me other armour sets. But that's about it. The collector's edition comes with the art book, which I don't want to open up because even though most people have probably played it by now, there's possibly still some spoilers for some people, or there's things that haven't, I say things, that there's people that haven't played it yet. This magnet is really strong. There we go, got the magnet off. Just unwrap this little beast. And this one is absolutely gorgeous. It's not massive, it's about 1 foot by 20 centimetres, but that finish of the title graphic with Link up on a sky island looking over Hyrule, it's just gorgeous. And I reckon I'll put that up somewhere, because I just think that's well worthwhile. Things like this, initially they're by many considered not worth much. But as years go by and these things disappear, they're the sort of thing that people want. People want artwork like that to adorn their games rooms, etc. So for a collector's box, that item to me is worth a lot more than the pins. Pins are a little bit gimmicky in my opinion. Most people don't actually utilise pins or coins. Some people collect them, but they're a thing of the past. This game, to me, is well worth everything. All of this stuff that I have acquired, to me, is well worth it, and they'll be in my collection for years to come. They're not an item that I plan to sell. They are purely to collect, play with and enjoy. The only one, like I say, that I probably won't play with, there's a possibility I'll open it at some point, but I might just see what others find that it does first, is that Amiibo. Other than that, I don't really see any reason to open the Amiibo out of the box than to display it, and I've got plenty of Amiibos, so I've actually got no space to display. The back of this one is gorgeous, and the texture feels great on the hand, but it is an OLED. So whether I transfer to this from my current OLED, that's the big question. When you look at the comparison of the two, the gold is absolutely gorgeous, but I kind of like the blue. I know it's not Tears of the Kingdom's design, but blue is kind of my favourite colour. And yeah, it seems right to me. This one is gorgeous, but I think this one will be more of a display piece than actually utilised and played. The Pro Controller, however, that will see action. That's a really nice Pro Controller. I really like that one. So yes, I will utilise that. To me, all of Tears of the Kingdom is well worth it. The game is not just download content. It is more than that. It is a sequel. Yes, they've taken the same map. They've taken a lot of the same mechanics. They've built on what they did previously. And in building on, they've built a whole new game with a lot more to explore, and well worth the price ticket. And to me, well worth the price ticket of the collector's edition, well worth the price ticket of the OLED, and the accessories, the Amiibo, the Pro Controller, and the case. This is part of my Zelda collection that will live on, and will display nicely with my other Zelda consoles from my 3DS and my Wii U, and the other Zelda games that I have. On that note, whether you collect, play, or both, happy hunting.